Alright, welcome back to Nugget Garage. On this week I'm still going to play KE10s for a bit. This one I've had to put the bumper on, the front lights, the grille. We're going to make a battery bracket. It's getting teched tomorrow night, so I've got to have harnesses in it and whatnot. I put an order in with Revolution Race Gear and they sent me a new jacket, pants, boots, gloves within 4 hours, which was pretty cool. Thanks for those guys. IHRA still hasn't called me back for my license, but I assume that will happen today. Last week's video, a few things that I need to sort of clear up about that. I kind of came in 6 o'clock on Thursday morning and ran it. You know, obviously didn't cut anything out. You saw what happened. Didn't realise what was going on until about 9:30. I had a customer car sitting here since 8 o'clock. The car takes about an hour to get off the dyno, and I had another car booked for the Arvo session, so I really had no choice but to cut it there. I did do a couple of takes trying to explain in a bit more detail why. Unfortunately, when I went home to edit, which wasn't until 7:30 that night, some of the audio was stuffed, so I had to kind of put something together that kind of told the story. And the unfortunate thing is I missed a few things out, like basically I didn't want to go any further because the EGT calibration that I had in the ECU was just something that I made up. So even though it looked fine, I don't know if it was. So Dale sent me up a Heltec, like a TC4 box, which will have the correct calibration for those sensors and talk to the ECU over CAN, so I should be able to filter out some of that noise. And I've got a few comments saying that didn't make enough power for that amount of boost. Well, you don't realise on methanol, and especially with the converter, the dyno doesn't read right. Like, I can hit that thing hard with the converter and it'll flat out make 750. If I let it eat late, it'll make 830. You saw that in two shots there. And the other thing is, I've got no intercooler. I've got no EGT data. Fine, it'll be short pull on the dyno, a bit leaner, probably would have made another 100 horsepower at the same boost, but over a quarter mile, that wouldn't have been good. It's a little bit of a different thing to work out, and I'm not going to push it until I'm comfortable with what I've got. Anyway, KE10s. So a guy from Byron Bay sent me a message. Said, do I want another KE10? And because I'm an idiot, I said yes. I had one of these cars when my first 3 kids were born, or first 2 kids. No, second 2 kids. So I had one for years, and I loved them. I'm going to do another one. This one's probably not really valuable if you're not mental. Got plenty of patina. Ideas for it. Initially, Beanie came and dropped me off the old 3K out of the old Nugget Corolla. This actually has a 5K in it, but it's had the head taken off. I haven't actually had a chance to look at this thing yet. It's been here for a week. Actually, shout out to Bedford Van Millsy. He actually went and picked this and a Morris up for me from the same place. The Morris went to my mum and dad. They're going to restore it. Unfortunately, the cylinder head was left off this, and it's now rusted. So I've had it for a week, haven't really had a look. I'll grab a light and we'll have a look at some things. So yeah, this thing's been stored with no cylinder head on it, and looking at the pictures I was going to dingleberry hone it, but I think it's beyond that. So there's a couple of options with what I can do with this. Initially I thought I would do the, oh yuck. Actually, the interior trims don't look too bad. Oh, there's one. Smells very mouldy. I don't know what these seats are out of. Cordia maybe? Magna? Sound barrier. Pioneer. What's in the glove box? Nothing. Oh, there's the cylinder head. Yeah, that's going in the bin. Back bumper's straight. Apparently he's bringing me a tail light next week. They're actually getting pretty hard to get now. It's got little globes on it, and they are actually 4x110. Mate of mine from in Tasmania, he said that if they are 4x110, they're quite rare. So it's got a disc brake conversion on it as well. I don't know if it's a KE20 or no, it must be KE20 if it's. Actually bought a set of KE20 wheels off a guy down the Gold Coast, so I'll figure out which look I want to go for when I figure out the direction I'm going to take. Well, of course, I needed this indicator for my other KE10, but for some reason this car has a KE10 guard this side and a KE11 guard the other, so even that one is not correct for what I need, so the search continues. Alright, so I had a few ideas as to what engine to use on this. In fact, Beanie, like I said, brought me that 3K and gearbox out of the Nugget Corolla. I was going to put a blower on it, Holly, you know, big ribbed belt, MSD, all old crap, just something to do. But I had a Mini in here not long ago with a, I think it was a ZX10 engine in it. It's quite fun to drive, and it's different. You had electric reverser, I wouldn't do that, but I'm thinking about Hayabusa turbo. Why wouldn't you? Probably doesn't need the turbo, but you've got to make headers anyway, you might as well make a manifold. And the good thing about the Hayabusa platform is you can buy drives that drive a tail shaft uni straight off the sprocket drive. You can buy all mechanical scavenge pumps that go on outside the crank. You can buy clutch baskets that'll handle the weight of a car. You know, it's a no-brainer. The only problem with the Hayabusa engine is price. They seem to be between 3 and 4 grand, and they seem to be a little bit hard to find. So I'm not scrapping my Hayabusa. I'm going to try and find another motor. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for turbo Busa motor in that hole, in this crappy, ratty Corolla, and most probably put stock KE20 wheels with hubcaps on it. Right, I'll put it in. This car's been here for a week, and I haven't had a good look yet, and I want to start pulling crap off it and throwing it in the bin. So that's what I'll do now. Alright, there you go. I only had to get the die grinder out 4 times. Looks like I got to it just in time actually. It's pretty much rust free, even under all this pine needle garbage. Pretty lucky. It's got surface rust, but sills are good, the floors are good. A little bit of rust here. Inside the spare wheel wells had water, but I'll just treat that.
No rust in there. Wow. I think it's going to be a good little car. Alright, we'll get the motor out. Alright, so next morning I had a dyno tune job show up late yesterday, so I actually managed to get into this thing. Pretty happy actually. Once I pulled all the crap off that looked ugly, it's actually in really good condition. There's not a whole lot of rust issues to address other than the spare wheel well on the boot, which is just minor. Fixed up a few of those trims. Alright, I know you're probably saying, well, this is the third KE10 you've done. Pretty boring, but it found me, and it's pretty much the lightest Corolla I can get that's rear-wheel drive. And it'll be pretty cool with a bike engine in it, I think. So I could have just put the K series in there. You probably could have stomached that, but ultimately I haven't done any fabrication for a while, and the bike engine is going to require a lot. As far as engine management goes, I'm either going to use the Nortronic that I have lying around, or I might use the Haltech, depending on whether I want to get some flat shift stuff happening with a strain gauge. I'm probably doing everything Haltech now. I might hit them up and see if they can supply me with an Elite 1000 or 1500. Also got to figure out whether I'm going to use the 4 throttle bodies on the Hayabusa engine, or whether we're going to go to a single drive-by-wire, get some throttle blip stuff happening as well. Should be pretty cool. Anyway, so this will become a fill-in project. I'm going to get onto the red KE10 and try and get this bumper on, and then I think that'll be the end of this week. The other one, it's getting Willie's wash and wax touch today. So he's going to try and make a diamond out of dog shit. I've got the battery mounted, the tech guys are coming tonight. Got the harnesses in, which was an absolute pain in the dick. We've got those LED lights working on the front. Ooh. So they're all cut up. Ended up cutting the backs off the factory lights and putting LED strips in there that I got from JCar. It's a little bit of a bastard, there's a little bit of bleed through, but it'll do. So everything's happening, it's going to get polished today. R-Wave 3RZ, the Shed King, he's throwing me out of the bus next Thursday. Apparently I'm racing my 86 at Time Attack. So I'll take you along for that as well. Probably do a lead up to that next week, get the car ready, because I haven't done zero maintenance in that thing in the 2 years that I've had it. We'll do that. I'll film it on the Thursday, and you'll probably see that the following Friday. It should be fairly embarrassing for me, because I'm pretty sure I can't drive for shit. Well, there you go, front end's back together, minus the bumper. That's going to take some custom brackets. Alright guys, that's the end of today. Sorry I didn't have much as a video this week. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do with this thing. I'm pretty set on a Hayabusa. Looks like I'm going to have to buy an entire bike. If I do that, it means I might change my plans a little bit and just run the thing aspirated and wire the entire bike harness into it, which means, you know, everything, all the headlights, tail lights, indicators, everything will all be bike, which that sounds like an easier and cheaper way to achieve it. And the reality is, if I did go that way, you know, I'd either put a turbo on it still or I wouldn't. But you know, if you start going mental with power, you have to do output shafts, straight cut gears, diff upgrades. All of a sudden, quick little throw together becomes a $10,000–$15,000 project. Scotty from Willie's Wash and Wax came in today. This thing looks $1 million. I can't believe it. It's yeah, wow. I mean, it's no show car, but it actually shines. Love it. It's pretty much ready. All I've got to do is mount the CO2 bottle and figure out how to get the bumper to stay on there without being able to use brackets. So I'm going to make some little L brackets and bolt them through the front apron, I think, and that should be fine. Looks like tomorrow's tune is a fairly interesting one. I've already tuned this once before. It's a billet RB28 built by Graham Ratley. Try some. Scares the crap out of me. Revs to like 10,000 revs. I think we made like 1160 horsepower through the power glide last time, and he wants me to send it more again. Pretty nice car. Wild bit of gear. Love it. Some nitrous on board this time as well. Wow. And I've got some stickers for the sticker wall. Thanks guys. These ones have got some, I don't know who he's referring to. Oh, that's not really nice. Probably deserves it. Thanks, Reese. Tell Dane he's a little bitch for backing out of the manual eco quarter-mile record. There you go, Dane. Anyway, guys, I'll come up with something better for next week. It'll probably be AE86 related. We're getting that ready for the attempt at time attack, which should be hilarious because no doubt I suck at it like everything else. Anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.